Hi everyone, welcome to Business Transition. Today we're going to be talking about luxury brands in general. So welcome, Ali is here speaking, not actually my name, but we're going to be talking about luxury brands. Are they really worth it? Are they sustainable? Or what do you think about them? I mean, it's quite a mixed topic, right? So, let's start this question off. First of all, would you pay £500 for a pair of shoes? Would you pay £30? Would you pay £5 or even 1,000, 2,000? So either way, there's high prices obviously for luxury designers, but luxury is basically defined as something that's meant to be unachievable for the general population, right? That's why it's luxury. So if you have something as luxury high end or something, then if you can't afford it, then obviously they're going to raise the prices because that's how consumerism works and society in general. If they can profit from it, knowing that it's more widely available, then surely they would raise the prices, and people that do buy them, I mean, well, a lot of people are actually buying them these days even more than before. So we can generally look at everyone who, for instance, social media is a good example, because there are some brands I would say that definitely aren't worth it. Not that I've had any experience with that myself, but just looking at the hype, like for instance, Prada is good, you could say, but so far, like the hype of the Prada re-edition nylon bag, for instance, I don't get it. I'm sorry, it's cute, but why? I was at work the other day and I found at least 7 girls with the same bag in one day, or not one day, 1 week, but really, it's the same bag. I mean, or the Chanel bag, for instance, or the Balenciaga coat, or whatever that brand is. There are some brands I really do believe that generally have good design, as well as are sustainable. I'm not saying I always wear sustainable stuff, even though I thrift a lot of my clothes, but also fast fashion is another thing we should probably consider here, because I mean, the rise in fast fashion, would you really go to Boohoo or Pretty Little Thing, like I mentioned in my last video, and literally buy every single day just because it's £5 or whatever per item? I mean, it's literally disposable, not to mention the conditions then. If you buy £5 per day or £10 a week worth of clothes or a clothing item, you can literally just save 1 week's paycheck or something and then not buy so many items. A, less clutter obviously, and also B, probably a better value for money overall if you work out cost per wear. So cost per wear is quite a good example of working out. For instance, this dress is second hand, yes, and I also cut the sleeves. Look, woo. But yeah, I'm quite happy. I am very pro of this selling and reselling, buying and reselling idea, as many people are against it. Like Depop is glamorized, for instance, these days, and gentrified. People are making arguments and videos about that. I agree, sure, it's true, but I wouldn't say just negatives, just making business out of it, right? But as long as you can sell it, then why not? It's better than sitting in your cupboard for about 5 years doing nothing. I mean, less clutter the better, less waste the better. And especially this generation, which you can watch my last generation video somewhere there, where I talked about different generations, but we tend to want more disposable things. Well, aim for disposable things without thinking, because it's cheap and available, and obviously you can buy it with a click, just with your card. There are many tactics, obviously, and brands are using to be able to do this, but there's also many tactics that obviously luxury brands are using. For instance, if you have celebrities wearing stuff or influencers, then surely you would want to buy them. I mean, why not? Because you look up to these people, or at least the ones you follow, right? They're relatable by size, perhaps by age group, and what they do, you want to be like them, or even unconsciously. Sorry about that. So some people may invest in that, and as long as it works out for you, good. Like, I'm not criticizing anyone here. You can spend £2,000 on a bag, but I personally wouldn't. Whether I don't or do buy designer stuff, that's a different question. I do like them, as long as, like I said, they're not crazy expensive and on sale, but they can last a lifetime or something. A few staple items are probably the most sustainable. And I know sustainable doesn't necessarily mean that. You look at the quality as well as the fabric, the threading, or conditions it was made in, for instance, factory workers and whatnot, the country. And some countries obviously get looked down upon by that because you just assume that it's made in China or Vietnam somewhere, then the conditions are poor, which most of the time is the case, but not always, I guess. Whereas if you're buying something from Italy that's handmade, then probably it's going to be slightly better because it's probably handcrafted or something like that. So either way, not to say that all luxury brands are definitely sustainable, most actually aren't, but now that with this generation wanting more sustainable stuff, I guess it's become more of a concern, which is a good thing. So you could look at, for instance, Selfridges has decided to do a sustainable recycling kind of scheme, I guess. Prices haven't changed, funny enough. Still crazy expensive, but it's kind of working. It's a great marketing strategy, and people are buying stuff. So yeah, I guess you could say that it's a good thing. I personally, am I the most sustainable person? No, not at all. I don't really care as much as I should before I buy something, but as long as I'll get enough wear out of it and the cost per wear is good, then I will, because I'm generally a minimalist in my wardrobe, I guess you could say, and many people also are. So I guess you could call that sustainable, but where I look at the conditions being made, well, fast fashion isn't always bad. I think people tend to jump to conclusions about that, to be honest. If you can, I know the condition was bad when you bought it, but if it's cheap and you can somehow make it last for years, then why not? Not everything, obviously, but let's say a pair of gloves that are fuzzy and warm. You wear them every day during the winter for a few years, then it's probably well worth it compared to £200 ones. Even if the quality may be so much better, those ones. I feel like quality is almost a quantity of measurement of how good something is, but rather most people don't actually measure it correctly. Because a lot of these brands actually are owned by the same top companies, I mean, literally. For instance, makeup brands, I think there's like 6 of them, like L'Oreal and a few others. They're all owned by them, by shareholders that are the same. So why? The quality surely isn't going to be that different, just the price point. And whether the conditions are different, that's a whole different story. So it's up to you what you buy and what you spend and save, obviously. But whether you spend per week or per month, per year, every few years, then that's up to you. So please do like this video if you do like it. No pressure, but it would make me happy. Also, something to consider in the comments below perhaps. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.